So like I mentioned, this week we are just talking about finding a product and service. So I'm going to walk through how to do that. And this is kind of the content that you're going to follow this week um, to find what products you're going to offer in your niche. So since we don't have a niche perfectly selected yet, we'll talk about that in our one-on-one calls. And then we can also go into more detail about what monetization strategy you want to use. But essentially this week, here's what we're talking about. We are talking about first thing we're going to do, we're going to start talking to our target market, find our value proposition, begin collecting leads. That's an important one because these are the first people that you're going to be talking to. So it's a great opportunity to begin collecting some either email addresses or people that you have contact with on social media. These are the people that you can immediately reach out to in a week or two and try and sell them your minimum viable product. Just say, hey, I put this, I'm going to make an online course. I'll sell it to you now for $50. It's going to be $200 when it goes live. It's going to perfectly solve exactly all the issues you were talking about. Do you want to buy it now? And you can start making some revenue right away. And this is how I sold my first books for the Pomsky Owners Association, which is contacting people on Reddit and I want to say Facebook or wherever I was posting my survey. I emailed those people and I said, hey, do you want to buy this? I'll write it. You said you need help training your dog. I'm going to write it. You can pay me $5 now. And I validated it, got 5 to 10 people to sign up right away before I even wrote the book. So that's exactly what you guys can do. So just make sure you're paying attention, collecting those leads as we go through this week. And then lastly, I'll cover some revenue ideas to make sure you guys are kind of brainstorming how you're going to make money from this website. And that's exactly what I did this week. I posted a bunch of surveys and asked questions out there on Reddit and Facebook and other social media platforms and forums. And I was just asking, what are you struggling with? You are studying for this Agile certification. That's the niche that I chose. It's study material, again, like I've done in the past. So I was just asking people, what are they struggling with? I also checked my competition, make sure other people are selling study material out there. How much are they selling it for? And I got kind of an estimate for how much my competitors are making in this niche. And I found that the biggest challenge by far is people struggling with these practice exam questions. They're asking for situational practice exam questions, what the feedback that I kept getting when I started talking to people, which means on this exam, rather than just testing you on a definition, okay, what is agile? It's asking as if you are a project manager and it puts you in a real life scenario and you have to go in and act like a project manager and solve the problem. And apparently nobody out there is doing a good job at writing practice exam questions in that format to prepare you for the type of questions you're going to see on the exam. So that jumped out at me right away as, okay, my original plan was I'm going to come in here, I'll probably write a book, I'll maybe make an online course. And I kind of scrapped all that and said, okay, I'm just going to write practice exam questions. That's way easier. I just have to write maybe 100, 200 practice exam questions. I'll put it up online and I'll sell it for probably $200 a course is what it seemed like was fair market value based on everybody else. So that's what I did this week. So I kind of already figured out what my product and service is going to be just by asking people. So, and this was an example of one of the survey respondents. They just say it's a difficult exam. It's all situational, and they're actually using that language. And now I'm going to take that language, situational, and I'm going to use it in all of my marketing material because it seems like everybody keeps saying situational exam question. So that's what my website is going to be about.
How many responses did you get? Is that something we're going to cover, or is that?
That is something we'll cover. So I ended up getting over 50. So I'm going to show you, like I do this kind of little Excel file where I'm just keeping track of my survey responses. And I'm going to show you guys how I do that. So I had, actually, I want to say I only put like 40 or 45 responses in there, but I probably got like 50 to 60 responses total. I just didn't put them all in the Excel file, but typically I shoot for like 30 or more. And I'll show you guys it's probably easier than you're thinking to get that many responses. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The 3 things are going to be first, survey, just like I was saying. Second, reviewing the competition. And third, choosing a product.